All right, we are actually live today. Um, so come on in, get settled. I didn't have time to prep early in advance or do a filming in advance. I just got busy with stuff, but nevertheless, it's been a minute since I did an actual live. So, and I got me my own little energy, my little can of energy juice to make sure I don't fall asleep this time because I am running on fumes today, y'all. But nevertheless, the show must go on. So come on in, let's get settled, and let's get the show started. Got a lot to talk about today. All right, we all ready? Let's do this. What's up, everybody? It's your boy Nick here, and we have another Big Brother recap show for you. We are week number 5. We just finished week number 5 already. This season is just rolling by. So without further ado, let's just get right into it. We are live. Normally, I'd have this ready to go early, but we are actually live today. So let me make sure we're all good. Fix my screen a little bit. All right, we Gucci. Okay. So we're going to talk about week 5 in the Big Brother house. And I have your who to goo results. Who was the house guest that got gooed based on America's votes? You'll find out very shortly. All right, so Ding Dong the Wicked Witch is now gone from the Big Brother house, leaving Rachel in shambles, figuring out another. Now she has to figure out what to do now that her number one has gone. She still has Ava, so that's good news. And everyone is still reeling over Ashley's blunder in the live eviction vote. But now everyone is wondering because there was only 2 votes cast to save Jimmy. Rachel was one of them. That was a given. But now we're trying to figure out who that second vote was, and all fingers are pointing to Ashley. So, but Ashley was dead set that, if you didn't catch this clip, she went back in the diary room and changed her vote. But she can't do that. Once you say your first name, that's it. You don't get to change it. So she thinks that production actually did change her vote. So now she's thinking somebody else did the second vote. And that's what she's trying to figure out. But what she doesn't know is that everybody is mentioning her name as the second vote. So needless to say, it's time to go win a head of household competition. And this is the classic knockout competition. The house guest will be asked a question about a specific topic, and so the first round they're chosen by random draw. The winner of that match will choose the next people to face off, so on and so forth. Every round, somebody will be eliminated from the match until there is only 2 people left standing. Now, a lot now this involves strategy because you want to pick people that are like working together to try to get them out. So lines are going to be drawn in this competition. Now, everybody was shooting for each other and they missed one house guest. One house guest did not get picked at all until it was by default. I think when there's only like three people left in the match, the remaining 2 have to face off. The one house guest that didn't get picked, and it was a big mistake because that person ended up winning head of household. That head of household is Ava Pearl. Congratulations, Ava. And clearly, now that Ava's in power, we're about to get some drama. But it just fathoms me that everyone was just letting Ava slide through to win this head of household competition. Now, Ava made it very clear that she didn't want any one-on-ones unless Ava pulled you into her room. So right away, she pulled Mickey. Mickey was one of the people she pulled in her room. She basically went over the game plan. Okay, look, I want Keanu, I want Vince. As for the third nominee, she wanted Ashley. Oh, Will is also part of this little trio. So Ava trusts Mickey and Will. But once Ava mentions Ashley's name, Mickey is like, hold up, now I got to step in. Ashley's going to be a number for us, so can't have you put her up. We gotta pick somebody else. And Will starts suggesting Zach. And this is ironic, and you're gonna find out why later on. Um, but Will was pushing heavily for Zach to go up as that nominee instead of Ashley, because Mickey and Will are like this with Ashley, and we're gonna talk more about that when we get to the alliance section. Now Vince is getting worried over here because he knows that Rachel is buddy buddy with Ava. Again, we'll talk about this later because they are in final two deal. But having said that, Vince knows he's in trouble. So he goes to make amends with Rachel to try to smooth things over and hopes that Ava will not put Vince on the block. But Rachel's not stupid. Rachel knows that Vince is only coming to her because he knows his butt is in trouble this week. And she knows that Vince knows that she's close with Ava. So the tears aren't going to work for Rachel. Before we move forward, it's time for the Who to Goo results. In the first Big Brother Unlocked episode, you got to vote for which house guest had the worst fashion sense. That house guest was going to get the goo or the slime of their life. Who did America choose to goo? None other than Rachel Riley herself. And she can thank Jimmy for that because Jimmy was heavily trash talking her fashion. Um, Nevertheless, it's still, they were still cool after that. So, okay, now we can dive into the alliance updates. Now, so we had the Triplets Alliance, and since Jimmy is no longer in the house, it's safe to say this alliance has failed. Now, we have another final two deal, and it looks like also our showmance of the season, Riley and Catherine. Now, it's like, are they together? Are they not together? It's like, we don't know. Riley is trying hard. Catherine is very hesitant. She doesn't know if this is the right move, but nevertheless, these two are in a final two with each other. Okay, there we go. And then we have another final two, Rachel and Ava, and they've called their alliance Double the Fun. And this is going to be crucial this week now that Ava has had a household. Rachel is going to be in her ear trying to get who she wants on the block. Now, Ava also has a final two with Will. So, since Will is pushing for Zach to go up on the block, Ava is going to take this into consideration. Now we have a new alliance in the works. It's called the Melting Pot. Now, Morgan and Mickey have been working closely together so far in this game. So has Vince and Zach. But Morgan is also close with Vince and Zach. So she decides, let's bring everyone together. Let's make this alliance and let's ride it to the end. So we have the Melting Pot that consists of Vince, Morgan, Zach, and Mickey. We also have another alliance called the Core Four. We have Ava, Ashley, Will, and Mickey. Now hold on, Nick. Didn't you just say that Ava was trying to get Ashley up on the block? Yes, I did. But thanks to Mickey and Will, these two are going to make sure Ava does not do that because Ashley is going to be a number for these two. So possibly Ava as well. So as long as these two are pulling the strings, this alliance is going to stay strong. So, and also why they're going to tell Ava not to put Ashley up is because there's another alliance called the Peach Cobbler Alliance that consists of Ashley, Will, and Mickey. So that's why they are pushing hard to not get Ashley on the block. We also have another final three going on that consists of Vince, Zach, and Lauren. Now, if we look back to Lauren to HOH, Vince had a heavy hand in controlling Lauren's HOH because literally Lauren didn't know what the hell she was doing. This was the week that she sent Adrian home. Dumb move. Dumb move. And also, Lauren has been getting close with Zach. They didn't say they were in a showmance, but they trust each other. And since Zach trusts Vince, it's only right that they make a final three. Now, notice that Vince and Zach's name has been mentioned quite a bit in this presentation. It's safe to say that these two are going around the house and they got their hands in all the cookie jars. And this further proves my point. Vince has another final three alliance with Keanu and Riley. However, when the Adrian vote happened, Keanu was very sus about Vince, and Keanu leaned closer to Riley rather than Vince. So, okay, it is time for the nominations. Let's see who's going on the block before the veto ceremony. We have Vince, Zach, and Keanu. Now, I didn't even bother editing Keanu's picture. I've literally have not touched his picture ever since this whole season started. Well, the second week. Week 2 was when he started getting nominated. This is the 4th week Keanu was on the block. But now we got Vince and Zach up on the block. Now, keep in mind, Zach has a special power that can save him this week. He was given $10,000, but he can cash in the $10,000 to the head of household, Ava, for his safety. Now, he still has an opportunity to win the veto, so he's going to keep that power in his back pocket for now. Now Vince is worried. Vince knows he's a marked man. And he's sitting next to his buddy Zach on the block. So now the melting pot had a conversation right after the nomination ceremony. Morgan was asking how everyone felt about the nominations as more of a way to like kind of console Vince and Zach. Actually, I don't think Zach was out there at the moment. It was just Vince, but it was just those three. So Morgan talks to Mickey and asks, "How do you feel?" And she kind of started deflecting the question, like, it's a rough situation, or like, it's I'm sure we can get through it or whatever. But basically, Mickey was deflecting Morgan's question. This puts up a red flag with Morgan as to, why is Mickey kind of standoffish? Like, why isn't she like frustrated? Like, because Morgan verbally stated she was pissed with the nominations. Vince was upset. Zach is upset. Morgan, out of all of them, was heavily pissed off. So, what did Mickey do? She went right up to Ava, and as messy as she was, she told Ava, "Look, Morgan said this. She was not happy with your nominations at all." And Ava said, "Okay, say no more. Let's pull somebody off the block and let's get Morgan up on the block." Now, Mickey just realized she just shot herself in the foot. Because, granted, yes, she did want to tell Ava. Sorry, excuse me, I need to drink something. No sponsorship, by the way. Okay, we're good. Now, Mickey realizes she just messed up big time. Because keep in mind, Mickey is also part of the alliance with Ava, Will, and Ashley. And she's got Morgan on the other side. So this gives Ava a reason to put Morgan on the block. But Mickey was like, hold on a minute. Just because, well, I don't think she said it right to Ava, but she said, just because I told her this does not mean I want Morgan on the block. Well, Mickey, you should have thought about that before you went and blurted it out. I'm just saying. Now it's time for the power of veto, and it is another Big Brother classic. It's the prizes and punishments. So this is kind of a crapshoot game where you launch, well, in this case, they were sliding a little hockey puck looking thing onto this little platform that had numbers on it. The person who got the lowest score after each round was eliminated, but they wouldn't go out empty-handed because they would have to open a prize or a punishment once they were eliminated. The last person standing would get the option of choosing any prize from the bunch. So let's see who won what. Oh, by the way, I'll tell you right now, these are our veto players. We have Catherine, we have Vince, Ava, Keanu, Will, and Zach. I'm so sorry. Last week it was yawns. This week it's coughing. Not coughing, but just clearing my throat. Okay, so here's how the standings were. In sixth place was Will, and he won a London trip. Good for you, man. And here's how he won the trip. Zach actually opened the briefcase that had the London trip, and he said, "You know what? I'm going to trade it with Will because he's been wanting this trip so bad and wants to take his wife somewhere for their anniversary." So Zach did a very gentleman move and gave Will the London trip, and he will forever be in debt to him. In in fifth place, we have Keanu, and he won the butler punishment. Oh yeah, you're gonna love what that one looked like. just give me a few minutes and I'll show you. In fourth place, we had Zach, and he got the partner in crime punishment with Rachel. I'll explain a little bit more about that in a little bit. In third place, we have Ava, who won the $5,000, meaning it's down to Catherine and Vince. The second place winner was Vince, and he got the hard-boiled egg detective punishment. So what did Catherine end up winning? She ended up winning the power of veto. Yes, this prize and punishment competition is always a crapshoot because it's usually somebody random who wins this competition. And to further prove my point, last season on Big Brother 26, Cam, if you remember him, he sucked at competitions. This was the one competition he won. So, and this was the one I believe that sent Tucker home last season. All right, so there's our boy Vince with the hard-boiled egg punishment, hard-boiled detective punishment. He has to wear this egg costume, this egg detective costume for an entire week. So, and yes, since he is still on the block, if he is still on the block come eviction night, he will have to sit and wait for his fate in that egg costume. Meanwhile, you got Keanu over here with the butler punishment. And yes, that is a rather large derriere right there. He has to serve the house guests and has to use his butt as a little serving tray. And he also has to spend a week doing that. And here is the partner in crime punishment. Zach chose Rachel to do this punishment, and they have to dig in a safe and choose a money bag. And there were 4 bags that had real Big Brother bucks, clean Big Brother bucks. Once they recovered those 4 bags, the punishment would be over, and they had 12 hours to do it. If they chose the wrong bag, it's time for goo. And they had to sit in a jail cell until it was time to try again. All right, so now let's get down to business. Now everyone's scurrying to see if Catherine is going to use the power of veto, and if so, who's going to be the renom. So Morgan decides to have a little chat with Rachel, and it's anything but good. It went south pretty quickly. In fact, Morgan let it slip. Now, over the last couple weeks, Rachel has been hearing from sources that they are going to keep Rachel until jury, and then as soon as jury begins, they are going to put Rachel up on the block and send her packing. Rachel did not like this, not one bit. And this led to a huge blow up. In fact, I have some audio bits of their conversation, and she tells Morgan straight up, "Look, I'm not going to jury. If I stay till jury, I'm going to the end. So you better be ready for me to go to the end, or you send me out now." So here's some audio that we got that explains the blow up.
You know that I'm not going to jury. No, Rachel. No, I'm not. I'm like literally, Rachel, I will be in this house until final 3. If you guys think I'm going to jury, no, I am not going to that jury house. I will never see that jury house. I meant like the checkpoint. That's what I'm saying. Sure, but like I'm telling you, no. If that's everyone's plan, I'm so tired of hearing it. I will not be in that jury house. No, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to offend you. I meant like the checkpoint. That's how I'm just looking at it, like setting the checkpoint. I don't want you gone. So I'm sorry if I offended you. I literally just meant everyone's thinking about just the checkpoint because no one knows if it's 9-person, no one knows it's 7-person. Morgan, I've heard that so many times. Yeah. I'm telling you, woman to woman, yeah, friend to friend, yeah. You will not see me in that jury. Yeah. I will not be on that couch, yeah, mediating. Yeah. I will be in this house. Yeah. I believe you, Rachel. So if you guys want to keep me, if that's what you think, yeah, I will be here. Yeah. I believe you. Okay. So yeah, I did not mean to offend you. I'm just saying, I'm just looking at it like by a checkpoint standpoint. Most people that I've talked to that I'm close with, it's just like we're just trying to get to jury. I don't even know if I'm gonna make it to jury. I'm trying. So I didn't mean like I'm gonna get to jury and then like see you later. I told you in the very beginning I'm trying to take you as far as I possibly can. I'm one person. So that's just what I'm saying. So, no, I understand what you're saying. Yeah. I'm sorry if you've heard that from multiple people. I did not, from my perspective, I'm not trying to say. Right, but I understand that what your plan is and what the plan is. And I'm telling you right now, because I've heard it so many times, if you guys think you're keeping me to jury, to sit in a jury house, you're crazy. I mean, your whole group is crazy. Because I will not be there. I will be in this house sitting in that final 2 chair. I believe you. So if you guys want to fuck with me, go ahead. But that's the thing. It's my whole group. That's not like, I don't know what the boys are planning. I just know that my talk in the very beginning when I had them was just checkpoints.
So you get the gist. I feel like Morgan worded it a little differently, but at the same time, Rachel has been hearing this over and over, you know, and I think she's got them scared. I'm not gonna lie. So, because honestly, who is gonna target Rachel at this point? Sorry, I'm getting this video ready. Yeah, if they wanted Rachel gone, they would have sent her home already. They should have sent her the first moment she was eligible to go home. So, but I don't know. That's the same. I don't know what they got planned. But Rachel made it very clear. Look, if I make it to the jury part, I'm going right to the end. Okay. She got Morgan cooked. And now she's heated. So now it's time to plant some seeds in Catherine's brain because she hasn't decided if she's going to use the veto yet. So Rachel decides to go talk to Catherine and tell her, look, they know about you and Riley, and they're going to target the showmance pretty soon. So do with it what you will. And so that has Catherine reeling, and so she decides to go tell Ava to go talk about it because they have to talk regardless because Ava wants to know what Catherine's going to do with her veto. And with their conversation, I think they saw eye to eye as to who should be targeted. Now the question is, are they going to do it? So let's find out. Catherine ended up not using the veto. So we have our nominees going into the blockbuster. But wait, so the nominations are locked. So does that mean Zach is going to use his power? Will he cash in his $10,000 to Ava and save himself from the block and then force Ava to put up a renom? Possibly Morgan. Zach did not use his bribe. And that is the moment when all of the Big Brother universe was like, did a face palm to their head like, Zach, are you freaking serious? You have safety and you decided to keep it in your back pocket and take a huge risk. So here's Zach's reasoning because I was confused as well. I'm like, Zach, what are you doing? You were literally you might be going home. If you don't win that blockbuster, you're toast. So his reasoning was he must have found out that if he used his power and took himself off the block, Morgan would have likely been the renom. And sure enough, Morgan would have been. So Zach was actually right on this part. Um, So now it's time to see it's time to start comparing votes, who's everyone voting for. And Ashley decides to go talk to Mickey. Now, Mickey over here is acting like her shit don't stink and is saying, I think I can get the vote. I think I can control the votes this week. I think I can get everything taken care of. It's pretty clear we need Keanu to go home this week. So I'm going to rally up the troops and I'm going to control all the votes. Now, Ashley's like, now hold on a minute. What do you mean? Like, aren't you going to talk to people? Like, what about us? What about our opinions? You didn't really ask. You just kind of taking over. So I think we're starting to see a little crack going on. I think once Mickey had her HOH reign, I think she went on a little power trip. And she kind of did the same this week. She kind of took over Ava's HOH as well, and played a low-key game. So I feel like Mickey is going to be crawling up to the top of the hit list pretty soon. So it's safe to say Mickey is going to need to win HOH pretty soon, or else her allies may start talking about getting her out. And sure enough, Ashley and Will did talk after their conversation and was like, look, she was saying this stuff and, it didn't sit right with me. So, and meanwhile, Vince is he's just hoping for a miracle. Poor guy in his eggshell. All right, no more waiting. It is time for the Big Brother Blockbuster. This was a Jumbo Gemstones competition. Basically, this competition, I've seen this before. You have like these 3 pedestals or whatever. You have to like move pieces around in order to get it perfect. And in this case, there were 4 color pedestals, and you'd have to get each pieces to their corresponding color. First person to finish would be safe from eviction. The blockbuster winner is Keanu. And boy, did he need this win. Because hours before the live eviction, I was reading recaps, what was highlights of what was going on in the house. Apparently, everyone flipped on Keanu at the last second. Keanu was sitting pretty at the beginning of the week. They were talking about getting Vince out. But then, of course, stuff changes on a dime in the Big Brother house. And Vince was all of a sudden not the target. And it switched back to Keanu. And Rachel and Keanu, excuse me. Rachel and Keanu were having a conversation. Keanu actually felt safe. He felt bad for Vinny, and he was going to throw the competition to Vince. And Rachel was like, hold on. Do not do that. Do not ever throw a competition to somebody when your life is on the line. And Keanu assured Rachel that I think I have the votes. And Rachel straight up said, no, you don't have the votes. You need to win this comp. Sure enough, yeah. I think if Keanu had not won this competition, he was going to be going home. So good for you for not throwing this competition, but it was a nail biter and it came very close. Vince was just this close to winning the blockbuster. So yes, here we go. All sad-eyed and egg detective. We go into our 5th eviction of the season, Vince versus Zach. Here is how the votes fell. Mickey voted for Zach. Rachel voted for Vince. Will voted for Vince. Now, this was a no-brainer because Zach had just given Will a trip to London. So why are you going to vote out Zach? This was like paying him back for doing that. Ashley voted for Zach, and she stuck with her vote this time. So congrats, Ashley. Morgan voted for Zach. And this was the moment where I knew where the votes were going to fall because Morgan had to make a choice between her 2 closest allies. So Kelly voted for Zach. Riley voted for Zach. Lauren voted for Zach. And this was a tough vote for Lauren. I think she knew that if she voted for Vince, she would have been on the wrong side of the vote. That's the only reason why I could think she voted for Zach to go. Because you saw how close they were. Catherine voted for Zach, and Keanu voted for Zach. So here we go. Zach, you should have used your power. You really should have. And because of that, you have been evicted from the Big Brother house by a vote of 8-2. And now it's time to make it official on the memory wall. Here we go. And there we go. He is now history. As we now have 3, 4, 5, I think we're down to 12. 6, 9, 10. Yep, we're down to the top 12. And the season again is steamrolling. We got lots more to go. The finale is at the end of September, so we're going to be seeing some big evictions coming up pretty soon. So, quick reminder that the next Big Brother Unlocked episode is going to be on next Friday, 8 p.m. on all time zones. So, if you are on the East Coast, might I suggest that you put on the Big Brother recap show on your computer and put on Big Brother Unlocked on your television, so that way you can get the best of both worlds. Just a recommendation. Of all the other time zones, you should be able to watch my stream in time for Big Brother Unlocked. Okay, next week we got the week 6 recap and another Big Brother classic, OTEV returns. If you want to learn more about that, you can go online and watch previous OTEV competitions, but I'll also explain it on the next recap show. And that's a wrap. Alrighty, so that will do it for this week's Big Brother recap show. Now, you might have also seen on my channel that I posted a video yesterday about the Video Music Awards, so make sure you check that out, especially because tomorrow, Saturday, we have another VMA video coming out. That is going to be my reaction to the nomination reveal, and I will make my final predictions come September when we do our official predictions for the Video Music Awards. So, and I've got a bunch of tapes that I am digging out so I can rip the footage from there, and I'm going to post those as well. So I've got a lot of content on the way, so make sure you like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you can watch all those videos as well as check out the other footage that I've done already. And we will see you back here next Friday for the next Big Brother recap show. Until then, I will see you guys next time. Bye-bye.